Hello and welcome to Galactic Sun Energy Readings. Tash here at Galactic Sun Energy Readings. How are you all? Hope you're all well. It's Thursday afternoon here, June the 1st. Merry June. Hope it's a good month for us all. It's still in the Gemini season, so happy birthday to all my gems out there. Coming in to do a reading today, we're hurtling towards a full moon in Sagittarius. I think it's on the 4th, in a couple of days time, a couple of days from now. The moon is getting bigger every night and we're going to feel that energy building, and it's moving towards a Sagittarius full moon. It's going to ask us where we want to be more adventurous, where we can freshen things up, where we can lively things up. We might feel like just doing something different for the sake of doing something a bit different, or just having a bit of an adventure, or doing things in a completely different way. It's definitely a fresh and playful energy about Sagittarius, so watch out for that. It's a beautiful one, it's a very intense one. Yeah, it'll be a lot of potential within this full moon. I feel a lot of potential for leveling up, for going in a completely new direction, for doing things that perhaps will, like, people say out of your comfort zone, but it's more than that. It's like doing things that perhaps you look back on and go, I didn't even know I could do that, you know, or I didn't even know that I wanted to do that until I got presented with the opportunity and the energy of, yeah, let's just do this. Okay, so that's how we're coming in here. So in preparation of that full moon energy coming in, I've come in today to do oracle reading for you guys. Mr. Milo and Mr. Murray are both here as well. Mr. Milo's keeping a close eye on me because it's time for his front line. It's time for his treatment. So he's such a canny little dog. He knows everything that I'm doing. He watches me like a hawk all the time. And he never used to mind having it on him, but these days, since he's got older, everything's got to be a game. And if he can beat me by snapping his head around, he will, you know. So I've got to be really tricky how I even do a simple thing like this with him these days. He's just too clever. So I've just left it there with the lid snapped off in case he comes by and I can quickly, you know what I'm saying. Oh, he's on the bed behind me now. He knows it's in there. It's all a game. Mr. Milo, you know I'm talking about you. Don't you, gorgeous? Yeah, Mr. Murray's dad is. He's no trouble, no drama at all. That one. Yeah, Mr. Murray, come here, Bubba. I know it's itchy season for dogs. I know. There we go. You feel better now. Okay, my loves, so let's go in with the oracle reading. I've chosen via the rose quartz pendulum, via spirit, I've chosen 4 oracle sets and 1 tarot set today. So let's see what's coming up for us. Let's call in the highest vibration of love and only love into this reading today, for ourselves and for the beautiful planet that we live on and that we share with all of the beautiful species of plants, animals, sorry, I'm a little bit blocked up, interdimensional creatures and otherwise. Let's just call in nothing but the highest vibration of love for our ancestors, star ancestors, and anyone else at all. Obviously in this reading, nothing but the highest vibration of love and compassion, of course, for ourselves. Okay, so yes, the moon's entered Sagittarius today, and it does feel like a different energy. It feels fresh. It feels fresh. Feels exciting. It feels like summer's only just begun and it's going to get hotter. Okay, I don't. Okay, that's the energy that's coming in here today. All right, so let's start off as we always do on the oracle reading, with a starseed oracle, Rebecca Campbell starseed oracles. Firm favourite on the channel by now. Feeling a lovely light energy, lovely happy giggly energy. Okay. Slow down as well. The energy of the tarot du jour. If you follow my Facebook page, tarot du jour, the energy that I pulled today was the Knight of Discs, and that's on slowing down. Slowing down, there's plenty of time. Okay, karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, and conflict. Interesting energy. We've had that one before. We'll have a chat about that now in a minute. So go watch today. Let's see what else has come up. Anything else come up? Oh, that's possibly too many. That is too many, my loves. Okay. Star ancestors certainly want to make the presence felt at this time. I think I did touch on it last week. This is a time of year where a lot of Pleiadian energy does come through. A lot of Pleiadian energy comes through for me regularly, but along with other energies. But it is something weird about this time of year and the Pleiadian energy. It's a portal for it. So let's see what else wants to come up there today. Today we're talking about Orion energy, which is linked to the Pleiades, I believe. Creative accountability. I was just asked to turn that one over there, and there it is. Your life is a canvas, creative accountability. Alright, we'll take that all day. Let's take a Kuan Yin. These are beautiful energy. We've been working with the Kuan Yin Oracle. Actually, I've already shuffled these, so I'm sure you don't mind if I just use the card method, because I've shuffled all these cards before I've laid them out anyway. They don't actually fly out the pack so easily. Okay, the dance and violin, that's an interesting one, and I have had a look at that one a couple of weeks ago when I got them. That one came up for me. And yeah, it's very interesting. We'll have a little look into that in a while. Okay, so that's those two done. This one's the Lonely Soul Oracle. Is that what it's called? Journey of a Lonely Soul Oracle cards. Beautiful energy with these as well. Been loving working with these. Just asking to been asked to slow down and go gentle instead of manically sort of shuffling like I do sometimes. Dreamtime Odyssey's turned over now. Interestingly, that's the one I was asked to work with last week. Okay, and it was quite an interesting one there. It's quite Sagittarius actually, because he sort of was asking me to look at what different ways that I can get things done that I'm trying to get done, and to just go about them in the most random way or the opposite way to how I normally would go about them. Not that it was suggesting that I should stay in that energy of doing it that way. It was just trying to show me, and it really, really did teach me that there are lots of different ways, and it brought a lot more of a sense of flow and adventure and doing things differently into my week actually, and it spilled over into this week as well, where now I just find I'm let's just make a little bit of space there, more naturally in the flow today and this week in fact than I normally, or what, not that I normally would be, but that I have been previously. So do feel like the energy has shifted massively. Flow's something I've been trying to learn more to work with in the last couple of years. And I feel like I'm finally starting to get it. I feel finally start to see a big difference with it. Or a difference, well, I feel like any difference is a big difference in this game, to be honest with you. Right. And then we're going in with a Black Moon astrology card. Same sort of thing. It's so thick and heavy, these cards. Beautiful quality. But not great for shuffling and getting one to fall out with. So I'll do the cut in. Okay. Oh, there we are. We'll take that then. That's a sign. Black Moon Lilith mystery. Interesting. I've had a lot of Lilith. I've had a lot of Lilith this week. I've had a lot of Lilith energy making itself known to me, asking to be worked with, etc. And that's been a very interesting journey as well. I have worked with Lilith in the past, and she's come back around basically to work with me again. So that's all good. Back around the spiral with Lilith, can't argue with that. Black Moon Lilith, of course, is a point in the sky. I'll explain all that to you when we get to it. It's a point. It's like an astrological point in space. Okay. Mystery. Anyway, say no more mystery. Okay. I love how this card and me are matching today as well. Are we not? Mystery. There we go. I believe that is a depiction of the goddess Inanna, who was a Babylonian goddess as well. Okay, interesting. Links to Babylon. Alright, Mesopotamia, even before the Egyptians. And the religions there. I say religions, I don't think they were thought of as, I think religion's only a concept that we've really had since Christianity. I'd say they were more a way of life, of understanding humanity, of understanding the universe, and a system of spirituality than an actual religion, which would suggest dogma and, yeah, you know what I'm saying. How could it be a religion? We hadn't even invented religion as such then. Yeah. That one flew out, and that one, these three flipped. Okay. Using the Celtic Tarot to clarify today. So we've got a 9 of Wands, an Empress, and an 8 of Wands. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful energy. Okay, I'll take that all day. So let's have a look at what we've got here. Okay. We have got karmic relationships, Orion energy. So, okay, coming up to the full moon, polarity, soul growth, conflict. Right, I was shown this energy yesterday as well about the difference between polarity and duality. Duality is everything's either black or white. It's either a winner or a loser. Everything's either good or bad. So always try to be looking at the good, and then the bad gets like this really bad rap. And we know, and we've learned this on this channel as well. Many of us have learned it, that actually the bad and the good is all just one thing, and that's what polarity teaches us. It's all one thing. It's all part of the same mechanism. You have to destroy to create. You have to create to destroy, etc. Okay, and that's why I say, to be a true light worker, people say you don't need to go into the dark. You don't need to go. What are you going into the dark? Well, unfortunately, the dark is a part of the light. It's, you know, you can't be scared of it. You can't be repressing it, and that's something we know all about on this channel. You have to be able to go into that dark and come out with some light, okay? And by the same token, you have to be able to be aware that when you go into light and it's all light and it's just nothing but love and light all the time, there's darkness within that. Okay, there it is. I'm sorry. And that's the truth. And that's what polarity is, okay? Orion energy, soul growth and conflict. Let's have a little look. Okay, karmic relationships. Orion energy. Interesting. Right, the constellation Orion is thought by many to have been a place of great polarity but eventual unity, because that's the lesson they've learned through. That's the growth and the knowledge that they come to understand, was that those two seeming opposites are both just the same thing, okay? Some believe that many starseeds who were part of this cosmic history are incarnate on Earth now and are playing out karmic relationships from Orion times. Perhaps you're one of them. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to read this bit out. We're all innocent children looking to be seen, understood and cherished. It's much harder to grow closer through conflict than it is to grow further apart. And yet, that's the invitation of conflict. It's easy to react and take things personally. It's more challenging to see the innocence of all involved and find a way to grow closer through conflict. It's through relationships that we grow the most. I touch on this a lot in my readings. One of the bravest things we can do to grow and to have spiritual growth. And people say, oh, you know, don't have relationships, oh, keep yourself to yourself, you're spiritual and all of that. No, 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 no. One of the biggest, bravest lessons that you can have spiritually is to allow somebody close to you, especially if that's somebody that you feel a trigger with, or that conflicts you, and you conflict each other and you ruffle each other's feathers. You know, they say if you feel like you've spiritually grown, bravo, good for you, go and spend some time with your family and then come back. That's where you learn to spiritually grow, is where that conflict, that drama comes up, even in a close relationship with your loved one. Every relationship is a karmic relationship, really, in my mind. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like every relationship, and I've felt this way for a long time, every relationship has karma attached to it from one life or one dimension or another. Even if you're in a relationship now with somebody who has, you know, this is their first time doing life as a human being or whatever, as an incarnate soul, you're still creating that karma with them, you know. So it's all karmic. It's different layers of karma that we're working through, and some of us have worked through a lot more than others have, okay, and other people are just in the thick of it and other people are just creating it. I don't know, that's the way I seem to perceive it anyway. But you might find that right now, coming up to this full moon, you're really aware, acutely aware of the polarity of the conflict, of understanding that somebody who seems to be the opposite to you is actually you. Is another you, is another piece of you. This is deep. It's understanding that somebody who operates on the opposite end of the scale of whatever you're about, you know, that can rub you up the wrong way. And that's fine. That's okay for it to rub you up the wrong way. You don't have to be in that person's pocket all the time to learn the lesson that you need to learn from each other and see the differences in each other and understand how that fuels each other along. I hope that makes sense. It's quite a deep one. It's come up a couple of times this week, that it's a deep one. Okay, let's just have a look what else is here. Let's not get hooked into that one too much. Your life is a canvas. Artist, manifestation, creative accountability. Okay, let's have a look at that. Yeah, it's a deep lesson that, but we're getting it. And it spills over in, you know, so it applies to our personal lives, it applies to conflict within ourselves, polarity within ourselves is what we need to make peace with first, if anything. Because you could say, well, on one hand, I'm like Glenda, the good witch, you know, and then on the other hand, I'm like Maleficent. And it's like, yeah, you are. And that's okay. It's about realising that they're the same thing, just on a different side of the scale, and that they actually need each other and whatever, you know. And then bringing that out to your relationships, and then trying to bring that unity through conflict out into the world at large, okay? And then we're really getting it. So we've got, sorry. Sorry, okay. Then you got the love, no, you're not alone, no, you're not forever, no, your life is a canvas. Artist, manifestation, creative accountability. You're the artist of your life, and your life is a canvas. Take responsibility for your ability to create. Earth is known as a planet of manifestation. Your present moment is based on your past thoughts and beliefs. Your current thoughts determine your future. What kind of life do you want to create for the future? What are you being called to create? Well, I think we'd all agree that we're creating unity. That's what this channel's about, and I know that's what my collective's about. I know in the higher self of the human collective, that's what it's all about. It's about creating unity. It's about bringing humanity to a state of unity and oneness within the galactic history, within all of it, okay? So that's what we're all about. That's what we're trying to achieve. That's the art we're trying to bring in, okay? And it is an art, because just because we've learned that lesson and we've understood that lesson doesn't mean that conflict's going to go away. It doesn't. It means that we understand that it's a part of life, that, you know, even so, you know, if you watch a nature documentary about how the animals live, or about how plant life lives, or any kind of life this year on Gaia, okay, there's conflict, there's drama, there's life and death, there's creation and there's destruction, there's all of it. Because we can't create a world that's never going to have any conflict in. We're meant to have a certain level of conflict, I feel, that's natural and that's helping us to learn and evolve and create a better, fairer, lighter world for ourselves and for the actual planet that we live on. So it's a deep lesson to understand, but understand that conflict is a part of everything, and the more we just stop seeing it as a bad thing as such, splitting things into good things and bad things, then it's just a thing. It just has to be that way, and then it passes and it gives way to peace and it gives way to understanding on a deeper level. Then we're starting to get it a little bit, I feel. Hope that makes sense. So let's create that. Let's be accountable for that in the world, okay? That's a strong message today. Let's actually be accountable for creating unity. And sometimes we don't have, like, it's easy to create unity through people who get along with each other, people who are all reading off the same page and who understand what you're all about. It's easy to create unity there. The real art that we're bringing to that canvas is creating that unity through conflict. That's the real art. And we wouldn't be sat here having this chat about it if we weren't up for it, if we weren't ready for it, if we weren't capable of it. I wouldn't be being presented with this information to share with you and to ponder about this channel, and wouldn't be coming out this way, the way that it is. And like one of my mates that I watch, she always says this is masterclass stuff, kids, you know, and I feel like that really is masterclass stuff. So I feel like we've come a long way, my darlings. You know, we've still got a long way to go for sure, but let's not look at that. Let's look at how far we've come. It's time of taking stock as well, before the full moon, beginning of a new month, before we go into this we're just entering Sagittarius energy today actually. It just feels like it's a time for sort of looking at how far we've come. It's a sort of little time of taking stock, and I have that energy coming in this morning as well with the Tarot du Jour. Taking stock, being grateful for how far we've come on the journey, seeing where we are on the journey, slowing down and making sure we're pointing in the right direction, making sure we're pointing in the right direction for what we want to manifest, which is unity, okay? Because you can't shy away from conflict. I mean, you should avoid it, of course. We shouldn't be trying to create it, of course, but it's there. It's a part of reality. So it's going to come up. It's going to come up within your day. It's going to come up within yourself. It's going to come up within the world around us and within the people that we have to deal with around us. We can't like just hide in a cave and paint it pink and I don't know. It's not possible. We have to deal with a level of conflict. Your cells dying and being recreated all the time, constantly. There's no life without conflict, you know. It's just more about understanding it instead of demonizing it. Whew. So that's our mission, okay? Let's just make sure we're pointing in the right direction for that we understand that. Look at how far we've come and take a big deep breath for the journey onwards, because we've absolutely got this. We've absolutely got this, okay? It's a deep lesson. Love it. Okay, the next one that came in was a beautiful Kuan-Yin energy, the dance unveiling. Check her out. How beautiful. Let's have a little look. Okay, this is still fairly new to me, this oracle set, although I am absolutely loving working with the energy of it. It's just what we need right now. It's certainly just what I need. This is number 36. A dance unveiling. Excuse me, I've got a little tiny bit of hay fever. Okay. You couldn't write it well, you could write it apparently, but how it comes in, right. There is a situation in your life that is about to reveal itself to you with greater clarity. Exactly. The situation of conflict, it's always there. It's not the first time it's come up for me to consider and share with a wider audience this week either. My tarot card yesterday was talking about, I've already explained this to you, conflict and polarity, etc. So just like Saturn's shifting, the picture will seem clearer and quite different to how it once appeared to you. This clarity will bring you great relief and confirmation of your intuitions. Be patient and allow the revelation to come to you at the perfect time. Slow down. Slow down. No, slow down even more. Slow down even more. We've covered loads of ground. You're doing so well on your journey. You've covered so much ground. It's okay to slow down. It's okay to slow down and just take stock and make sure you're pointing in the right direction of what we're all about and where we're moving forward. Okay. 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 It's about truths being revealed to you. It's about revelations. I feel like it's about working with your I haven't read it yet, I just feel intuitively it's about working with your third eye chakra, okay? It's about a big shift. It's about moving those blocks. It's about getting deep down into your root chakra also and clearing away a lot of the clutter that you've accumulated there. Alright. Okay, I'm going to read it. Often what we think we know is only a small part of the bigger picture. With some more information, what we think is the truth can shift, sometimes dramatically, and reveal a completely different reality. Sometimes we really imagine a situation, a person or a place to be all that we think or feel that is, only to find that it is not quite that way after all. Some time and involvement has passed. There's an important situation in your life right now that is unfolding, and you have yet to perceive it fully. It is safer for you to be patient and curious and trust what you feel is unfolding. Don't rush to set things in motion, to form a structure, or even make things concrete until you've had the chance to be clearer about this situation or process. There will be a time in the near future when you will realise that the graceful cosmic dance of Kuan Yin has unfolded and a veil has been lifted. At that time you will realise that you are seeing much more clearly and accurately than you have previously been able to. So I feel like there's a lot in there, and I feel like there's a lot in there that's been touched on over the last few weeks. I can't remember what video it was in, but I know it was recently that we touched on where's it? The most positive thing we can do right now to move things along is to be patient while things are unfolding. There was a message in one of my videos about that. There was a download about that. The most positive action we can take right now is to just be patient while things are unfolding. The dance unveiling, the dance unfolding. It's happening. We might look around and go, well, I can't. What changes? I still feel it's happening. You're just going to turn around one day and go, oh my goodness, yeah, it happened. It happened. It happened and we were all a part of it. Okay, it feels like that. Okay then, Mr. Milo. Yeah, but he's very worried. He knows it. Mr. Milo. He's distracting. Okay, and it is an important situation. We're trying to bring in a new world. Oh, we could get all up in our heads and all heavy about that. We could bring in even more dense energy into the thing that we're trying to clear the dense energy from by going, well, we're trying to create a new world here. We're trying to create a new earth, and I can't see many changes, and I don't feel no different, and creating all that heavy energy instead of just having patience while this dance is unfolding. Allowing that divine feminine to rise up within yourself without pushing it. If you're pushing it, it's not rising it up. It's pushing it back down. Okay. If you're forcing anything, it's not feminine. It's not allowing the divine feminine, the dance of Kuan Yin, to rise up within us. Okay. To rise up within the planet itself and within each other. It's not. We have to be gentle. We have to be receptive. We have to be receptive. So you're not forcing, and quizzing and putting that heavy energy on it. You just breathe in it. You're breathing it, you're allowing it, you're open. Okay. So one of the sorry about that, Mr. Mayo, he's on form today. One of the big lessons, part of the big lesson that I've been learning in the last couple of years is about flow, and it's about also people say to me, how do you do the channeling that you do and come up with the messages and things like that, and the information that you do in your readings for people, etc. And one of the biggest pieces of advice I can give to achieve that, it's something that we need to integrate also in our daily lives, because this is how we're breathing new earth in, is to just allow yourself to be open and to learn to be open, to actually learn to just be open. And open is open. If you don't know how, ask for help. Excuse me a minute. What is going on? There's nothing going on. Nothing. No. What's he doing this time? Is he attention seeking? Sorry about that, guys. Jack Russell moment. There is literally nothing going on. It's quite noisy in the park today because there's a splash park in there for kiddies that's like completely free for people to use. So it does get rather busy at this time of year. However, there's nobody directly outside our house or in our street, although there's a lot more noise. There's kids and whatever bit of noise coming from the park. He's just on form today, that Russell of mine, I tell you now. Okay, so yeah, the dance unfolding is about being open, it's about being receptive, it's about flowing, it's about being gentle. And if you're always pushing to be gentle, then you're not being gentle. If you're always sort of, don't get me wrong, having discipline, having structure, all of those things are important and can help you no end also. However, it's more just about being open. And you go, well, I don't know if I'm being open, well, I don't know if this is open, I don't know what that means. If you don't know, just ask, okay? Ask your guidance, ask for guidance on it, and you'll be shown all sorts of ways that you can learn to be more open. You'll be given all sorts of challenges and lessons in how you can be more open. I feel like we're doing it as a collective. I really feel like we're doing it. I feel like we're doing very, very well. I just feel like sometimes we push for like wanting to see more results than are like available to us right now. And the more we push, of course, the more we create that resistance, the more we slow the whole thing down, alright? So it's just about learning to have a light heart and accept that these changes are inevitable. These uploads are inevitable. They're available to everyone. They're absolutely inevitable. These gifts are inevitable. They're just lying dormant within people. We can activate them through spiritual practice. We can activate them through being in touch with nature, spending time in nature. We can activate them in each other through love and appreciation. It's happening. Before we know it, we're going to turn around and see that dance, that veil has completely fallen, and the divine feminine is completely healed, and that we are part of that, and that the actual planet we live on is actually part of that as well, is there. And yeah. Wow. It's a deep read, my darlings. It's a deep read, but also, oh, hold on, we haven't gone into Sagittarius today. Now I understand why things are going so deep. Sorry, my bad, my mistake. I've been a little bit confused a couple of times today. It's changing the energy. Right, we're in Scorpio today. Now we're going to have to check now because I've questioned it. So sorry about this. Sorry, not sorry. Double check. I've already checked 3 or 4 times. Scorpio. So we're not going in. So we're going into Sagittarius on Saturday, and then on Sunday there's the full moon in Sagittarius. But we've gone from Libra into Scorpio today. Tomorrow, Scorpio. No wonder this is getting really deep. No wonder this feels like a really deep dive. And very, yeah, wow, magical and very Scorpio, yes. Okay. No, it makes sense. Okay then. Well, it makes a bit more sense. The next one coming in, my loves, was the Lonely Soul Oracles. Let's have a look at those. Okay, very Gemini energy there. Look, two twins. Okay, and we are in fact in the Gemini season, as we know. Wasteland's Absolution and the Cave with No Windows for this particular one. Okay, let's have a little look what that one's all about. 26. Wasteland's Absolution. The object of her desires lay nearly within her grasp, and before her stood out her old enemies in an arid wasteland they had created for themselves. The key to their defeat is simple: utter absolution. Interesting. Okay. Old pains can weigh heavily on the heart. What did I just say about keeping a light heart? Okay. Okay. Here's the alternative that we're faced with in Gemini season. Okay. There's two beautiful twins there. I feel like that's Newton's apple up above them, saying, you know, sooner or later, gravity, something's going to fall. All right. Something's going to fall. It could be the old ways of doing things. Okay. It could be. Let's bring that in. Old pains can weigh heavily on the heart. You may find that yours is laden with chains formed by those who have wronged you. Thoughts of hatred, bitterness and vengeance may feel like they provide a passing instance of satisfaction, but in fact these things only serve to bind us more deeply with our oppressors. Conflict. There. Perfect. Conflict. Only forgiveness can dissolve these chains. To offer grace to one who has wronged you is to bring healing rains to a desert parched with thirst. Trauma can be passed down through the generations of a family, as ancestors pass the same poison chalice to their descendants and name it tradition. The more dire sickness of all can be the secrets we have been forced to keep by those who professed to love us. We can remain locked in these cycles forever unless we are willing to be the one to budge, to relent, to open our hearts even unto our oppressors. This does not mean we must remain in dangerous or unhealthy circumstances. Rather, it means we can move forward free of what was done and who has done it. Okay, that's very, very interesting, because that's all about conflict, okay? That's all about carrying the pain of conflict and carrying it as pain. And interesting as well that it says, you know, that doesn't mean that, you know, that polarity thing of, well, of course there's bad and there's good. Of course, you know, it doesn't mean you have to be, I said it earlier on, you don't have to constantly be in the energy of somebody who raises a conflict within you. All right, but you do need to face that. You shouldn't be hiding away from it. You do need to face it, and you need to face it with an open heart. You need to face it in a state of grace, a state of openness. Okay, for it to be lifted from you. For it to be lifted from you. And a lot of people might still be struggling with that. And to me, that feels very old world now. That feels very like 3D, the old world, what we've already left behind. But I understand that there's layers of that, and there's layers of that we're all working through. And there's no competition, and wherever you are on that journey is absolutely right for you, okay? So you might be feeling that very, very difficult right now. You might be feeling that you're carrying a lot of hard, heavy energy in the heart area that stopping you moving forward, stopping you it's bringing duality in, and duality isn't unity consciousness, my loves, okay? It's causing you to act out of fear, and fear is not what we're creating a new world out of. We're creating it from love. We're creating it from love. So don't hide away from that conflict. Face it, but face it with an open heart. Okay? Keep your beautiful heart open. Never mind what was done to you or who it was who done it, okay? If I'm triggering anything you're in this reading today as well, please remember you can always reach out to me in 100% confidence, and I will always point you in the right direction to get professional help. And you can talk to some lovely people free of charge who can help you with any type of crisis that you might be facing, or anything that I'm triggering during this reading today, because that is very heavy, okay? But it's all about conflict, and it's showing us that we have a choice. We have a choice, okay? We can face that conflict with an open heart and heal it, okay? Okay, once we've decided that's what we're going to do, it'll get easier and easier and easier. What happens is we build it up in our heads and we stay stuck and we hold on to that, and it gets passed down generations. And that's not woo-woo, that's science. That's something that science is talking about now, that we actually pass down information in our genes and in our DNA of everything, of emotional pain, of mental pain, of all of it. But each person that's born into the world has the power to break that, has the power to break those curses, has the power to break those curses by facing those conflicts, facing those hurts, facing those generational curses with an open heart. And hey presto, it disappears. It disappears, and we're bringing something much healthier in instead of it. It's heavy stuff, so be gentle with yourself. Okay, my loves. The next one was called number 2, Cave Without Windows. Okay. In moments of great personal import, our eyes are opened to the truth of ourselves, and we see that we have dwelt too long in darkness. As comfortable as it would make you to retreat back into a cave, you simply cannot close your eyes or your mind to what you have seen and what has been revealed to you about your nature. You are not who you used to believe you were. A destiny lies in wait for you if you allow yourself to claim it. Discard the clothes that never fit you to begin with, and give yourself permission to find a new way of expressing the truth in your soul. Uncertainty at this moment is to be expected, but the only remedy is exploration and authentic expression. This card appears when new interests and passions bubble up within and demand immediate attention. Say yes to the new thing, the unexplored mystery. It will lead you to greater light. That is brilliant. What would I like to be done with forever, and what do I wish I had permission to do? Give yourself permission. And if you want it to be done forever, release it into the next full moon. It's done. It's done. You know, holding on to conflict, passing that on generations. Not an easy, easy energy to shift. But you're being asked to shift it now, okay? I love that energy as well, because that feels very Sagittarius, about trying to do something completely new, okay? Putting on a frock that actually fits you, because you didn't even know that it fitted you, until you tried it on. You didn't even realise that your old clothes didn't suit you, so to speak. Yeah. So trying something new on. You don't want to go back into that cave. What we don't want to do here is go back into 3D heavy energy of staying in conflict and drama, and therefore creating. Because you might say, yeah, but I'm not creating more conflict and drama. I'm just not up to facing up to all of this. I'm not up to facing the change of it. By staying in it, you are creating more of it. Not to add any more heavy energy to it, but you are. You literally are. And it's okay. You're still not ready to learn that or bring that lesson in for yourself or whatever, okay? But it's coming in. It's coming in. And the more we realise that it's like, it's already you, it'll make you feel safe. It'll make you feel safe to move forward with that, okay? And that's what I'm seeing in this reading. Right through this reading, there's a strong theme here of conflict, not going back. Don't go back in the cave. Come out in the light. Join the rest of us. Let's create that canvas, okay? Yeah. So, yeah. I'm loving how it's coming together, this one. So Lilith is you. Black Moon Lilith mystery. Gorgeous energy. Absolutely gorgeous energy. And I'm loving that I'm actually matching that today. And like I say, Lilith has been popping up for me all week this week. So let's have a look at Black Moon Lilith a minute. Number 12. Mystery. In revenge and in love, woman is more barbaric than man is, said Nietzsche. Okay, that's quite deep. Mr. Milo, come out. Come on. Okay. Okay. So again, that's about conflict, isn't it? Straight away, that sentence there. Now that quote, in revenge and in love, woman is more barbaric than a man is. Okay. That's about conflict. And that's about conflict resolution as well, if you think about it, alright? If we face it with an open heart, it is. It's time to be careful. Think of what might manifest over anger, bitterness, or revenge. What you have worked so hard for may collapse. Exactly. Don't let something that's making your heart feel very hard now or wrong. Somebody's wronged you, somebody's wronged somebody, and it's really been painful, and it's really thrown up a lot of difficult feelings in your heart chakra. Don't now act out of revenge. And that would undo all the good work that you've done so far in your light work journey, in your starseed journey, in your healing journey. To give in to bitterness now would undo all of that. Okay? So be very careful. We can rise above it, wherever it is. Astrologically, the Black Moon Lilith represents soul expansion and cosmological awareness. The force is aloneness and the path of the individual. Black Moon Lilith is a dark goddess. She is a ghost to the moon. As a shift in power and consciousness, she symbolises destruction before creation. Interesting, because we had that subject come up earlier on as well. That destruction and creation are part of the same thing, and that actually that is not a conflict. I love how these readings come together, and Spirit totally supports us in these readings. Okay. The name Lilith means screech owl or night hag. Lilith is the ancient goddess of mystery and transformation. Stories of Lilith appear around 5,000 years ago in the area of Samaria, where she was said to have been a handmaiden to Inanna. I did mention Inanna earlier on here. The Queen of Heaven. However, most of us recognise Lilith from the Hebrew myth as the first wife of Adam. Lilith also appears in folklore in medieval Judaism as the rebellious first wife who refused to submit to Adam and enraged fled to the Red Sea, an area of mystery and danger. There Lilith procreated with other spirits, giving birth to demons. Later Lilith became a succubus, appearing to men at night, sapping their strength and causing wet dreams and impotency. Throughout the ages, Lilith was demonized. She was the first spiritual upstart, but in recent years her status has changed. Lilith is a feminine force of command and strength. She represents the powers we hold in secret. When this card turns up in a reading, something lurks. Lilith appears as the dark part of the astrological chart. She is our shadow side, the dark face of the moon, where mysteries and unexplained occurrences lie in wait. This card indicates a call to wildness, even subversion. Sagittarius full moon, yeah. Lilith is the evocation of what may or may not be there. She can manifest as madness or self-realization. Lilith represents a refusal to submit, so it is not a good time to give in, even when the path seems a rough one. There may be a tendency to isolate and focus on feelings of revenge. The hallmark of Black Moon Lilith energy is muteness and aloneness. Lilith is a subdued power and complicated magnetism. Lilith remains awake while the rest of the world is asleep. She is the dark thoughts that enter our consciousness just before we fall asleep. Black Moon Lilith suggests female rebellion. She can represent an angry mother, an enemy, or an embittered woman, or even a stalker or a scorned woman. You have a feeling you are waiting for something to happen, but you don't have the entire information, so the facts are hidden or mysterious. Something stalks, you feel it, but Lilith is sharp. She knows, she senses, she processes what is there. Because Lilith feels slighted, she can represent a formidable foe or a dangerous enemy. Through Lilith we discover creativity and the beauty that can exist in the darkness, as long as we keep our own demons in check under our rule. As long as you've done your binding, okay, you're okay. Bind your own lower aspects before you go into any kind of work with Lilith or any of those kinds of energies. Highly recommended. But doesn't that reflect as well that Kuan-Yin energy of you know something's coming but you can't see the whole picture. We know something's coming but it isn't quite all there yet. We know something's formulating. This is a warning as well not to give in to those dark thoughts. I feel like you can go into them, you can look at them, but look at them with an open heart. If you look at them from a high perspective and you've bound your lower aspects, okay, before you've gone looking at all of that darkness, you're not going to act out of that fear then, okay, that might rise up within working with that kind of energy. You're not going to act out of fear, you're going to act out of love, okay, because just because Lilith is a dark goddess doesn't mean she's incapable of acting out of love, quite the opposite. Alright, and that's the paradox that we're here to learn today. You couldn't have more of a juxtapose as Lilith and Kuan-Yin really, but they're both the same goddess of course as well, because all of the goddesses are one. Alright, and that's reflected in each one of us. So a really deep dive today, and I'm not surprised with the Scorpio energy around, and we're coming up to that full moon in Sag, as I say as well, and this Lilith does encourage us. She encourages us all the way to go off and do something random or completely out of your comfort zone, or you know, unexpected or rebellious, you know, for sure. Okay. Beautiful. I love it. I love how these oracle set out. Spirit guides me to pick these oracle sets. If you had said to me earlier on, you're going to draw the Lilith card with this and this, and I would have gone, how the hell is that going to all work together? My conscious mind, Tasha, would have gone, how's that all going to work together? But because that's what channeling enables you to do. And it's about trust. It's about having complete trust in what you're being guided to do, which I'm learning to do more and more all the time, and that's what I mean about learning about the flow. So it's running through all my days, and it seems to be working. Okay. Wow, I'm just blown away with the energy of it. Okay, let's see what came up with the tarot to clarify. Celtic tarot was a 8 of Wands, a 9 of Wands, and an Empress. An Empress, I mean, here we go again. We've got Kuan-Yin, we've got Black Moon Lilith, we've got the Empress, we've got Divine Feminine vibes all over this reading. Okay, we've got Gemini all over this reading, we've got Sagittarius all over this reading, we've got Scorpio all over this reading. We've got fire energy here as well, quite a lot of fire energy. 8s and 9s of Wands. 8s and 9s of Wands at the Celtic Tarot. Right, 8 of Wands, an elf. A leprechaun repairs shoes surrounded by trees and creatures, quiet life. Okay. But the 8 of Wands is about a quiet life. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to read the 9 of Wands. Interesting how it's gone from the 8 to the 9 as well. There is no point in hiding. The enemy will find you. Okay, so you've got this is interesting because the 8 to the 9 has gone to the 9 there, okay, and in many ways it's a very similar energy. You're sort of surrounded by those sort of torches of flame, alright, but the figure in the 8 of Wands seems quite happy to be there, feels like she's safe, feels like she's quite alright in there. She's got a fox and a dog, and she's just getting on with it, you know, she's sort of accepting it. And then the other one, it's a case of you're hiding in there, and it's giving me that energy that we were shown with this card of going back in a cave, hiding in that circle, and there's no point in hiding in there because that conflict, that pain that you've been put through, those karmic relationships that we're playing out on the planet right now, they're going to come up. they're going to be found. Just like that bow there, it's going to be found. It's going to be found out. It's going to come out. You can't keep hiding from it. You can't keep running away from it, either by distracting yourself or pretending that everything is all love and light. It's not, and it's fine. It's all beautiful. It's about facing that conflict. Okay, and again, there's conflict here because it's like pretty much the same scene. The trees behind, the meadow, the torches, it all looks the same but a completely different energy. So there's conflict again. There's a conflict of, I feel safe in here, I feel okay in here, I might stay here, and I'm hiding in here. I'm hiding in here, you know. The good news is we've got the Empress, very unifying energy. It's showing us that we are going to come out of this victorious, and I love this Empress card because it's sort of like the world. It's a bit like the World card and the Empress card all in one, because obviously it's a very feminine figure, but she's holding her skirt out like that, and it reminds me of that Kate Bush album cover where she's lifting her skirt up and it's like everything in the world is in her skirt. Oh, it's a really old Kate Bush album cover. Oh, it's really good artwork. Never forever, or something like that, I think it was called. Anyway, it reminds me of that. It was like everything in the world is in her skirt. The whole world is being gathered up in her skirt. So that's very Gaia energy, actually. That's very Earth Mother energy. That's, we're grounded, we're happy, we're abundant, we understand, we've elevated. To have the Empress energy come in to clarify for us is showing us that we have elevated that conflict. We have subliminated it, even. It's about subliminating it. It's about realising that understanding of the light and the dark is all the same thing. It doesn't make one thing good, one thing bad. Sometimes what can seem to be a light thing can actually turn out to be quite a bad thing, and what can seem to be a bad thing can actually turn out to be quite a good thing. So, for instance, bacteria. I don't know why I've been showing that analogy right now, but the analogy of bacteria. Bacteria can be a really destructive thing, and it can cause us to be very, very sick, and it can cause death and suffering, etc. But it can also be a very, very good. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, but it can be a very, very good thing because it can destroy diseases, it can destroy bacteria living in your system, living in your gut and wherever, and it can actually be very beneficial. So that's a perfect example, I feel, that I've been shown there to share with you of how to understand polarity and conflict, and that we can sort of elevate it and subliminate it and stop being afraid of conflict, allowing the conflict to be there. We don't need to be staying in situations that are bringing unnecessary drama. We don't mean that. We don't need to be staying around people who seem to thrive on conflict. We're not thriving on it. We're just going, okay, there's a bit of conflict, that's fine. What's that teaching us? How is that sometimes even helping us? Okay, and moving on from it. So we're not going hiding in a cave. We're not hiding away. It's going to find us whether we like it or not. It's part of nature. Okay, we're not going to carry it into the next generation and carry on carrying it there and having a heavy heart. We're not. We're gonna get some Lilith energy going on, and we're gonna transfigure that energy. That's what we're gonna do. Scorpio into Sagittarius over the next couple of days, my loves. Okay, deep read as far as I'm concerned. And wow, and thank you so much. And if you did keep up with any of that, and you did enjoy it, I'm sure that at least one or two of you have, please hit me with a thumbs up. It's very, very important. If you have enjoyed this video at all, please give me a share, please give me a subscribe if you haven't already. Please get in touch and get a personal reading if that appeals to you also. Okay, I'll be back in a day or two, and I'll look forward to that. And drink lots of water, get plenty of rest. All the love, all the light, and everything else in between.